All right, well, hello there, my friends. Good to see you this fine Saturday morning or afternoon or evening or middle of the night, depending on where you're tuning in from. It's been a long time. I've been going live a little bit on the other channel, but I've missed you terribly. So I'm excited to be here today and to talk all things marketing, business, advertising, social media, funnels, follow-ups, reactivation campaigns. We can talk about SEO. We can talk about pixels. We can talk about retargeting. This is your time. I'm here to serve you in any way that I possibly can. So as the questions come in, I'll address those as I can. I'm not sure how long I'm going to have today. Family's out for a bit of a walk, and I figured, hey, let's use this time to reconnect because, like I said, I've missed you terribly. So feel free to drop in any questions that you have, and we will cover them. Until we hit those, though, got some cool stuff to share. Some marketing strategies, some tools, some tips, some things that are taking place right now in the world of marketing that I think you're going to find very beneficial and very useful. So I'm happy to unpack all of those. And of course, we could talk more about them later. Now, that said, I should probably address what we talked about in the email when I sent this out saying, hey, I'm going live in 30 minutes. Sent out a couple real quick tips, kind of a bit of a teaser information really, because we didn't go too deep. The big thing that I wanted to talk about though was that marketing master plan and really making sure that everything that we do when we talk about here, when we answer questions, when we talk about all those things, everything is going to be filtered through the lens of that plan. That is the single most important thing, really making sure that we're doing the right things in the right place for the right people. Because I was going to say just like now, there's a whole lot of new sort of buzzwords and catchy, trendy things going on, but this is how marketing is. This is how it's always going to be. There's always going to be some new hack or trick or tactic or something like that people are going to want to sort of jump on and talk about just how great and how powerful it is. The question is it great and is it powerful for you, for your goals, for your business? Because the fact is that one of the most common questions I get is, do Facebook ads work? Does SEO work? Does web design work? Are these kind of good things to have? And the answer is pretty much always yes, if, right? There's always that caveat, that clarification. Yes, if it's in alignment with you and your business and your goals and what you're trying to do and where you're trying to go to. So we'll unpack the master plan there in a second. Kevin, good to see you, buddy. From Lakeland. How are you doing, my man? I've missed you. It's good to see you back there in the comments. All right, so the master plan. Well, let's start at the top. For any business, and this is going to be equally applicable for new business owners, existing business owners, new agency owners, new marketers, whatever it is. I'll list out the steps, and then we can unpack them one by one. So model, market, message, media, machine. The model is, what are you selling? What is your offer? What is the service or product that you're trying to wrap up? Many businesses have more than one. What we want to do when we're doing marketing is we want to focus on one single one at a time. We don't want to sell everything all at once because it confuses people, it overwhelms them, and it also makes it really hard to target one individual pain at a time, which is really where we're going to have the best results. If we can laser focus in on one specific pain point and really kind of, it's not a very nice thing to say, but like put salt in the wound or like really twist the knife in there and make them feel it, they're far more likely to take action. So we've got to make sure that we're picking one thing. So I say marketing is done in one thing at a time. That to me is the big kicker here. Jeffrey, good to see you here, buddy. Glad you could make it. Yeah, this was a super impromptu one. Just had some time. So we're hopping in. So that's model. Once we know the model, then we can move on to the market. Now, these ones are kind of interchangeable about which one is going to start first, model or market. If you're just starting a brand new business from scratch, my recommendation is you start with market and identify the ideal customer avatar first, and then from there you can work out the best services or products or whatever it is to serve them. But most existing businesses already have something that they're doing, so we'll just do a quick 80-20 analysis, look for the top 20% of things that are generating 80% of the revenue, double down there. Then we can focus in on the target market. Now with the target market, what we've got to do here is we've got to go deeper than the stereotypical marketing things of like demographic details, age, gender, income, occupation, titles, things like that, geographic location, what city, state, province, country they live in. Psychographics, this is where the real money is made. So this is like attitudes, lifestyles, beliefs, what groups are they a part of, organizations, what do they believe that others may not necessarily believe? What can you say that would polarize them so that you would attract the best people and repel basically everybody else? This is where the real money is made in marketing. Another thing I say, I'm quoting myself a lot today. Feels weird, but let's go with it. Customers don't buy when they understand. They buy when they feel understood. Very, very important to understand. So our goal as marketers, as business owners, as anybody that's trying to promote or sell something, is to put ourselves in the customer's shoes and then really try to understand where they're coming from. All right. We got a few more. We'll say a couple more highs and then we'll move on to, what's after? I'm already losing my train of thought. Message. Model, market, message. All right. Oh, Jeffrey, we got you there. One enemy. Can't express appreciation for you taking the time out to help everyone. Yeah, my pleasure, my friend. I love this stuff too. It's sort of like, it's half selfish because if you weren't here, I'd just be talking to myself in the corner about marketing. It's weird, but Maximad, good afternoon. Good afternoon to you too. Aj, following you for some time, want to ask, what should I do to get more messages as we sell laptops? Any suggestions? Actually, yeah, funny timing on this one. I think we're going to pretty much be going through this, which is the marketing master plan we're talking about today. So it's like the model, the market, the message, the media, the machine. All of those things are going to help. As far as selling laptops, that's tricky because if you're selling like commodity stuff that anybody else is selling as well, then you're going to be competing on price. So you're going to have to find some kind of differentiating factor in regards to the service that you offer or delivery or something like that, because otherwise they're just going to compare like apples to apples. So we've got to find a way to switch that up somehow. Hey, Danny, good to see you, my man. Thanks for everything you do. Pretty much sold on marketing. Sold me on marketing while bringing tremendous. Well, that's amazing. Thank you. I'm glad I've converted another believer. Yeah, I mean, obviously I'm biased, but like everything is marketing and it's the most powerful, life-changing, money-making skill that exists on the planet as far as I know. I can't think of like, I think about this a lot actually, because I've got 4 young kids all under the age of 10. And I'm always thinking, what should they learn? What can I teach them? How do I position them for the future? Sam Altman, the founder of OpenAI, I watched an interesting clip with him the other day. And a lot of it was on like, teach your kids to be resilient and teach them to keep learning and teach them all these things. And I agreed with all of that. And then another thought popped into my mind, which was from Scott Galloway, who's a professor at NYU and exited a bunch of companies for 8, 9, 10 figures. And his thought was communication skills. Again, like teach people to like tell stories, make videos, write content, do marketing. He's a professor of marketing, but again, so yes, it's exciting stuff. All right. Wiznu, I'm live. I know, right? It's been forever. I'm in between like gym sessions right now too. I got sweat pants on and sweatshirts. I got pink socks that don't match. It was funny because there's like, everyone knows the biggest fashion faux pas you never make is socks and sandals. And as I was leaving the house, I was wearing these pink socks. I don't even know if I can show you. They're offensively pink. Oh, pink socks, gray sweatpants, like a burgundy hoodie, and sandals, like some Birkenstocks that I found because it's like a 3-second walk from the house. And my wife saw me and she's like, "Whoa, that's quite the outfit." I was like, "Yeah, we're not doing good things for fashion today, but we made it." Jasmine, love Saturday morning lives. Definitely getting pancakes after. Oh, you know it. You're so on it. You know the drill, Jasmine. You know the drill. I always leave and I make pancakes. So we're having it a little bit later today, but I'm still gonna go make those pancakes because I'm actually starving. I'm running on protein shakes and oatmeal. And like I said, gym session 1 down, and I'm gonna go swim in the pool after. So all this stuff. All right, where was I? Let me carry on with some message. For anybody tuning in here, there's going to be this most random hodgepodge of strategies and tips thrown at you, but we'll carry on. So we did model, we did market, message. Once we've identified the model, what we're selling, the market, who we're selling to, and we've dug deep into like their psychographics, I say miracles and miseries. So the miracles are their wants, their dreams, their goals, their aspirations, all the end states they're trying to get to, and their miseries are their pains and problems and fears and frustrations, the current state that they're in. Our message is designed to target both of those and then position you and your business and your offer as the bridge between those, which is left to right. Everything's always backwards on a camera. So we want to take them away from misery toward the miracle. That's really it. Take them away from where they are right now, show them where they want to get to, help them cross that bridge. And what we want to do, there's a copywriting saying, I believe by Robert Collier back 80 years ago or so, 60 years, doesn't matter, a long time ago. And he said, you want to join the conversation already taking place in your customers' minds. That's what we're doing with marketing. We never convince someone to buy, ever. We can't fabricate demand. We can't create demand. We can't make someone want something, but we can tap into the demand that already exists in them. And then what we can do is we can position our product, our service, our business as the logical next step for them to take that. All right. Media after. Let's do some more questions. Sumenta, please make details video on information gain in SEO. Information gain in SEO. I'm not totally sure what that means, but I do have a video. Hang on. Oh, I don't dare find it. Every time I try to load up YouTube in the background, it starts playing and then it interferes. But if you go to the channel, I think it's the second last video. So not the one that I just posted, but the one right before that. That's on SEO. I think it's a little more story driven than it is like nitty gritty tactical details though. Oh, but there is a link in that video in the description that's going to give you the nitty gritty details. So go check that out. I think the video is like, I ranked a website in 24 hours to prove it's not luck. It's a fun story. It's a fun time. Okay. Puria, what's the best way to get customers? Everything we're talking about here, my friend. There's no one best way. So I think that's probably the first answer, is that it's not like Facebook ads or SEO or cold email. Like all of those, yes, all of those, no, depending on who your market is, where you're located, what you're selling, what your funnel looks like, all of those things. So there is no one single best way. There's just a collection of different tools and strategies that we can draw from. Oh, hang on. It's like apocalypse now here. Can y'all hear that helicopter? Let me see if I can like... It's so loud. It's offensively loud. Sometimes when I'm recording a video, I can hear them coming from like a mile away. I was like, no, I'm gonna have to stop this one and carry on. So anyways, yes, what's the best way? The marketing master plan is a really good spot to start, but the best thing that you can do, especially like anytime I see a question like this, my advice is pretty much always market research into who your customers are and like what their biggest pains and problems are. Because once you figure that out, everything else becomes child's play. So much easier. All right. A&M Gaming, what is the best way of marketing a private label product on Amazon? There's a very specific question. So there's two sides to this story. The first of which is the thing that's more important, which is to basically base your marketing around fundamentals and principles. So again, I feel like I'm repeating myself a lot here. Maybe it's just because it's top of mind, but like that marketing master plan, making sure we're doing the right things in the right place for the right people. Have we positioned the product correctly? Is it addressing a need? Are we selling a want instead? And we need to sort of beat up the benefits a little bit more. Are we providing adequate social proof? Like all of these things. The second thing is a little more tactical. And this is where like specifics on that kind of topic are going to come in really handy. And those change all the time, which would be like how to optimize your Amazon listings and things like that to get more sales. I don't do a lot of product stuff though. My focus is mostly service marketing. And if we do products, it's rarely on Amazon, just because I like to have a little more control. All right, Jeffrey, just joined your agency, Accelerate Pro. Yes, I know. I saw your name. I was excited. Listening to all this through that lens, looking forward to getting on calls with you in the near future. Yeah, absolutely. Next call's on Tuesday. So I will see you there. But yeah, absolutely. All of this applies, right? Inside that program, you're going to find more specific tactics, obviously, on agencies and getting clients and running it that way. But the fundamental marketing principles behind are equally applicable. All right. Oh, there we go. There's the follow-up. Nope, I do not personally. All right. Hey, Via, good to see you. Always looking for your vids. So valuable. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. Good to see you here, Via. Glad you could make it. All right, let's hit a couple more things. Then we'll do some more questions. So we did model, we did market, we did message. Next one is media. This one. If I had like a bone to pick or a grind to gear or a pet peeve, it would have to be the media section of most entrepreneurs, marketers, businesses, media strategies when it comes to marketing. And the reason is because they make the mistake that I've talked about subvertly sort of throughout this entire video so far, which is, hey, we're doing Facebook ads, or hey, we're doing SEO, or hey, I hear TikTok is great to be. And then they just go all in on that, and then it fails. And then they're like, I guess it sucks. And there's so many holes with that and so many problems, I don't even know where to begin. The first of which is that we have to identify where your ideal target market is present and active online. And then we go there and we ignore everything else. Not just one or two of the other platforms, all of them. Especially if you're working with a limited budget of less than like $1 million a year, which is 99.9% of small businesses. The big businesses can afford to like throw a whole bunch of stuff at the wall and sort of see what sticks. We've got to be strategic. We've got to be smart, which means we've got to find out what are the 1, the 2, the maybe 3, but probably not 3 platforms where your customers are spending most of their time online. And then we go there. Ideally, we're going to have one platform and then we really focus in on that. So obviously, perfect example here for me, it's YouTube. That doesn't mean that I don't have a quasi-terrible presence on other platforms, but like every time we go to other platforms, we see such diminished returns compared to time and resources invested in the right place that it pales in comparison. It rarely makes sense. That said, we do sometimes test it every once in a while to see what works. So that's media. That's important. We've got to find out where they are, and then we go there. And then we can start spending the time and the energy and the money to really hone in our strategy and make sure that we're interacting and engaging with that platform natively, comfortably. I don't mind if you repurpose content from one place to another, but like a little bit of a polish, a little bit of a spin, a little bit of a cleanup to make sure that it looks like it actually belongs there goes a really long way. I remember back in the day, there was like all these link posting services and you'd make a post on, I don't know, Facebook and you copy the link and you just like blanket post it everywhere. Terrible, terrible. Not only does that not work now, it's just, it's kind of goofy looking. Like when you see it, and you've seen it, you know what I'm talking about. All right. Habiba, Oya Dukun. Habiba, does that mean baby in Arabic? Something like that? Or like friend, Habiba? I used to speak a tiny bit of Arabic when I worked over in the Middle East. And by tiny bit, I mean like I could order a couple bottles of water and things like that. Anyway, good to see you. It's been a while. It has been a while, my friend. I'm doing amazing. Thank you. I'm doing really, really well. Yeah, I'm excited. I'm glad to be back here as well and chatting. I think I'm going to try to make this more of a regular thing again. It may not be like every Saturday morning because that's a bit of a draw away from the family when everybody's expecting me to make pancakes and swim in the pool and do fun things and dad's in here doing marketing stuff, but I will try. All right. Friendly reminder as well. 2 quick reminders. Then I'm going to drink from my sports water bottle. If you don't mind, hitting the like button helps with the reach. Also, if you have a question, make sure to drop that in the comments here and we'll keep going. I got at least another like 15, 20 minutes of steam before I got to go. So hit me with the comments. All right. Patriot Mindset. Thoughts on 3-minute shorts coming on the 15th? Ah, yes. I've got thoughts on this. I'm still thinking they're going to be lower value than long form. All right. Shorts. Oh, I got thoughts about shorts. So many thoughts. So again, I think we have to look at all of this through the lens of like, who is my target market and where are they spending time online and what kind of content are they engaging with? And then we formulate our strategy around that. That said, math, right? Like just basic math dictates that like a 3-minute short or a 1-minute short or whatever is naturally going to have less value than like a 10-minute video or an hour-long video or a 2-hour-long video, right? Like you can't cram that much stuff into a 1-minute short or a 3-minute short. And even if you did, the impact still isn't there. It's just not the same. Anybody that's ever read like the Cliff's Notes or the Cole's Notes version of a book or a book summary and like compared it to the book, it's night and day difference how valuable one of them is, right? It's like the Cliff Notes, the summary of the book is going to give you the high level concepts, but it's missing all of the context, all of the stories, all of the emotional appeal. So it's basically just hitting you with a bunch of facts, which unfortunately, due to confirmation bias and the way that our brains just work, we're either going to look at these facts and be like, yes, that is true. Or we're going to look at them and be like, no, that is not true. And then we're just going to discard them. We're not going to remember. So long form content is clearly a superior winner. If you're going to do any kind of content whatsoever, that's the one to push for. Obviously it takes longer, but it's so much more valuable, right? So takes you, I don't know, say 5 times as long to make a long form content, but it's like 50 times more valuable. I've got more thoughts. The second thing is we can use short form content still, but we have to look at it in the context of the funnel, right? So we've got 3 different stages of a funnel typically. Tofu, mofu, bofu. So top of funnel, middle funnel, bottom funnel. Very original names. Top of funnel is for attention. Hey, random person that's never heard of me before and doesn't know me, here's something that you might find interesting. That's top of funnel content. That's where short form comes in, right? Like we're just trying to like show up in front of them, give them something interesting. Then we can move them to like middle of funnel. And this is where longer form content comes in. So it's like, oh yeah, I've seen you. I sort of trust you. I'm going to give you a chance. And we're trying to get some kind of engagement here. Everybody has a different principle and metric on what they consider engagement to be. For me, it's literally engagement, meaning I don't mind if they click. I don't mind if they watch. I just want them to do something. And ideally, it's some kind of like retargeting action. Even if I don't retarget them, that's sort of the metrics that I use. And then bottom of funnel is like all the conversion tools. Hey, now that you've seen this and you like this, why don't we go on and do this thing next? And here's another way to solve your problem and so on. So I think short form has a place. I can tell you personally, and I'm a bit biased here because personally, it's just not done anything compared to everything else. Like I don't have the graph in front of me, but if you looked at it, it would be like long form, everything like sales, leads, value, it's like off the charts. And then like short form is like down here, like this tiny little thing. And that was not after just like one or two of them. It was after like hundreds and hundreds and hundreds. Like we gave it the old college try. I'm not against it completely. We might add it back in at some point in the future, but for now, I don't know. As far as 3-minute shorts, I think fine. I think I'd still probably find a way to like beef it up to 5, 6, 7, 8 minutes, even if you can, because there's also a different psychology of a viewer on shorts versus on long form. So on shorts, they're very much like flipping through content, and on long form, you typically engage and interact. So that was a lot. That was a lot of thoughts all at once. Almost. It means my beloved in Arabic. Oh, right on. Good. Habiba. Okay, perfect. Perfect. That's so much better than baby. I think they probably just explained that to me when they were teaching me. What can I say? Itnin maya kabir min fadlak. Itnin maya kabir. But I'll say it with like a Egyptian accent, not standard Arabic, because that's the only one I ever learned. Jasmine, if you want to serve blue collar businesses, what's the best way to get them without cold calling or viral social media? Ooh, good question. So viral social media, I'm never a fan of anyway, because we can't predict or plan for it. We can hope for it, but like we never really plan on anything going viral. And then if it does, it's a happy accident instead of like our strategy relies on this going viral. If that's ever your strategy, you're hooped. Like we're just dead already. So yes, we can scratch that one right out. Blue collar businesses, some of them are going to be best with cold calling. I won't lie. These are going to be people that have their phones in their pockets all day on the job site. Contractors, plumbers, electricians, drywallers. They're going to be best reached with cold calling. Next to that, DMs can work, but not as well. Cold email is probably going to be the best way to reach them if you don't want to cold call, which is totally cool. I don't think you have to cold call. There's other options. So what did I say? I said cold DM, cold email. I'd go cold email. Cold calls first. Cold email is going to be second. Cold DM maybe third if they're checking their Facebook messages, which they're probably not. So yes, go for that. All right. Okay, hang on. Where were we now? We did model, market, message, media. Oh, machine. Oh, this will be easy. Then we'll hit some more questions. So the machine is, once we've identified the model, what we're selling, the market, who we're selling to, the message, what's their pains, problems, fears, frustrations, wants, goals, dreams, desires, how do we bridge that gap? The media, where are they present and active online? What kind of content are they consuming? How do we create that? Then we have machine. Machine, my friend, is the funnel, the customer journey. Every business has a funnel. The bakery down the shop has a funnel. They just don't know it. But their funnel might be, hang on, another helicopter. I'm going to talk through this one. We'll just see what happens. Their funnel might be like a billboard outside of the bakery that says, come in for a free bagel. And then that would be attention, top of funnel. Then you walk in and the owner greets you behind the counter and he says, hey, buongiorno, because we're in Italy. I don't know if the bagels are big in Italy, but roll with me here. That's our middle of funnel. Now we've got some kind of engagement. They're less likely to just walk out the door. Then he offers you maybe the free bagel with this or this other thing. Now we've got bottom of funnel, which is the actual conversion. Maybe he even says, hey, would you like an espresso with that, a macchiato, a latte, something. Now we've got an upsell part of the funnel. I mean, the options carry on. Maybe you say no, and he's like, no problem. Maybe you just want a shot of espresso for half the size. What are those called? Half espressos. Now we've got a downsell. Like every business has these things. This is turning into a weird analogy that isn't going to end, so I'm going to stop it there. But that is our machine. The best businesses and the best marketers, they plan that out. Why do they plan it out? It's so that we can optimize different stages and find out where the gaps are so we can plug them. For example, if we have like an online marketing funnel for, let's just use a marketing agency. So we send all kinds of attention getting content. Someone comes to our website. Maybe they watch a VSL, video sales letter, webinar, something like that. Maybe they opt in. Maybe they get a follow-up sequence. Then we have a phone call. They book it on a calendar, We can see where people start falling off. So for example, if like no one's clicking our content, we start there, right? Like we have a mismatch here between the content we're creating and the audience we're trying to serve. And so the rest of our funnel is irrelevant because we've got to fix this first. But let's say the content's now good and people are clicking and maybe they're even opting in, but for some reason they're not booking a sales call. Now we know we've got a gap between content and the offer that we're making and getting them to actually take action. So what can we do there? Well, we can refine the offer. We could put in other kinds of nurture sequences. We can provide more value at that stage. There's all kinds of different pieces that we can play with in order to boost up those conversions. The beauty of all of that is that when you fix each piece of the funnel and you map it all out, you don't just see like a doubling in sales, you see like a 16 times increase in sales, right? Because like if you can double your opt-ins and then double the conversions on the landing page and then double the people who book a call and then double your close rate and then double the follow, like those numbers compound exponentially and the math starts to get very exciting very quickly. All right, that's the marketing master plan. That's it. We did it all. Let's hit some more questions. Okay, TJ, I sell oil and electrical products. What would be the method of marketing my products? It depends what you mean by products. Like if you're selling the actual commodity, then I've got follow-up questions for you. It's like, are we selling B2C or B2B? Like, are we selling them to consumers or are we selling them to businesses? Because both of those are going to take dramatically different approaches. For example, if we're selling direct to consumers, we probably need to find out where people are buying these kind of products, and then we make sure that our stuff is there and well represented. On the other hand, if we're selling like large wholesale orders to oil and electrical companies, well, then we need to do more B2B marketing, which is going to be more direct outreach. So cold email, cold calling, networking, that kind of thing. I'll let you, if you got any more details on that, let me know and I can be more specific. Makes sense. Different demographic, it seems. Yes. What were we talking about? Oh yeah, the shorts. Yeah, different demographic a little bit, but like different consumer behavior is more accurate, right? Like you could have the same demographic consuming short form content, but they're going to consume it at a different time than they would say the long form content. And they're going to be in a different mindset when they're doing it. So yeah, I think the demographic plays a little bit into it. Short form content naturally appeals to a younger demographic to it, but I think you can still use it with an older demographic. You just have to find how and when and move it around. And again, it's going to depend on the platform, right? Like we're probably staying off Snapchat and TikTok if we're trying to go for someone that's 60 plus. All right. Hey, Tyler, good to see you, buddy. Glad you could make it here. All right. If I'm cold calling and don't know the name of the owner and ask for the owner and they say, who is this and what is this about? What's the best thing to say to get them to hand the phone to the owner? Yeah, great question. What you say is, yeah, I'm just calling about anything. Calling about customer service. I'm calling about this question. Yeah, I have a question about this. Yeah. Like, don't lie and hide the fact that you're calling for marketing purposes, but also don't say directly that you're cold calling for marketing because they will hang up. Like they won't pass it on. So the best answer is one that we're going to trial and error as we're having a conversation with different leads as we're doing this cold call thing. So if we call someone and they're like, yeah, who is this? And what's this about? Well, typically I introduce myself. I say, hi, it's Adam Earhart calling from AGAC or whatever. I probably wouldn't say Agency Accelerator because that sounds like marketing. Or it's Adam Earhart calling. Is the owner there by chance? And they say, who is this? I was like, it's Adam Earhart. What's this about? Yeah, I just had a couple questions that I was hoping to run by them about like a recent experience or about their customers or about a customer experience or about this thing or that thing. Like we're going to try to find a way to phrase it so that we basically don't show all of our cards so they actually pass the phone. We don't want to tick them off and be like, and lie again, because then the owner's just going to be angry. They'll be like, hey, it's Adam calling about giving you free money. And then it'll be like, hey, Adam, I'm here for the free money. I'll be like, actually, let's see how this goes. You know, that ain't going well. All right. Jasmine. Oh, you can't hear the heli. Oh, that's cool. That's a good microphone then. Good job, little Sure. You did a good job. Yeah, it's loud. Like so loud. Like earthquake shake my office loud. Tyler, do you have a template in Agency Accelerator for doing a cross-marketing campaign? I have a business with over 8,000 customers and want to start offering them my new marketing services. The best thing to do, we don't have a template, and here's why. The services that you're going to offer should be specific to that business. So you don't just want to go hit them with like a laundry list of like 100 different things. Because A, it's overwhelming, and B, it's completely not customized to what they have. So if you've got, let me read that again. I have a business with over 8,000 customers and want to start offering them my new marketing services. Yeah, the best thing to do is like, we got to have a conversation with them. I'll find some kind of gateway drug or tripwire or intro offer that I can use to get them to have that conversation with me. It's like, hey, would you like a new website for free? Hey, I've got this new thing called an AI employee that answers all your calls after hours. It's free. Happy to install it for you. Like anything like that. And then I can have a conversation and be like, oh yeah, by the way, like, what else is bugging? How's this working for you? How's that going? Oh yeah, I see some of my clients have that. What about this? How's that working? Hey, based on what you told me, I think you could really benefit from having this. Do you want to hear what that looks like? Or based on what you've told me, I think there's a pretty easy solution, which is we just do X, Y, Z. Do you want to see what that looks like? And then we have a conversation with them. Always the best plan. Everything, every sale in like B2B, agency world, other world, comes from conversations and talking to people. All right. I feel like I'm on fire here. We're doing good. All right, Jeffrey, hang on. I'll sip some water and we'll get to you. All right, curious on your perspective on two different customers I could serve with the acquisition agency model: window and door replacement companies and mobile car detailing companies. Ooh, good question. I would go window and door replacement. I mean, I'd probably go window and door replacement if you have equal interest / experience in both of them. I typically just go with a higher ticket service. Obviously, there's more factors that play into this, like your experience, your interest, market size, growth of the industry, where it's taking off, where it's lagging behind. Like there's all these other factors that we want to consider. But like on the surface, I would just go for the one that has a higher ticket price that's going to pay more. So mobile car detailing, I don't know, $200 to get it done. Window and door replacement, $500 to $1,000 to like $2,000. So it's like even there, it's an obvious choice to go with that one, because if you can get them 1 to 2 more customers, you make them an extra, I don't know, $2,000, $3,000, $4,000. You get an extra few customers for car detailing. You make an extra few $100. That said, I've done car detailing before. It works fantastic. I would just go for the higher ticket one. All right, Nelson. Hey, my man. When launching an online biz and starting to put out long form and short form content, would it be wise to focus and master 1 or 2 platforms like YouTube and or TikTok versus being omnipresent? Yeah, definitely. Way better to focus on one and or 2 at the most and double down on that one and make it your own. The reason is because they are more competitive, right? So it's like every platform is more competitive than it was the year before and more competitive than that. That's not bad, by the way, because most people show up, they try it for a little bit and then they're like, screw this. And then they quit, which is amazing because you're not going to quit. So you're going to knock it down. The question is, who's your demographic? What are you selling? Where are they spending their time? Because like, given the choice between YouTube and TikTok, like YouTube just beats the living pants off TikTok, like in every possible way in regards to sales, money, brand, longevity, evergreen versus like transactional content. Man, it's just like, it's not even close. So if I had to pick one, I don't know, I should stop saying I'm biased because I don't care about any of the platforms. I genuinely don't. I will go wherever I'm able to provide the most value to people. Right now, that's YouTube. If YouTube disappeared tomorrow, I would just go wherever the next best place to create as much value as I possibly could is. So I'm really not married to any of these platforms. That said, it's very hard for me to recommend like any other platform other than YouTube if you have even the slightest inclination or desire to make that kind of content, because it will just pay off so well. I mean, oh man, the amount of money that YouTube has made me is ridiculous. Like just silly. Shouldn't be legal, but it is. So do it. All right, Tyler. So I could reach out to them and offer a free website marketing audit, for example. Yeah, I would give them something tangible if you can. So like the website is better. The Facebook ad template is good. like a follow-up campaign is good. Like anything that you can be like, hey, I sent this thing for my customers and generated them 60 sales. Happy to give it to you for free if you want it. And they'll be like, yeah, send it over. And then you could send them a video and then you can do an audit and all of those things first. The audit's I like it because it's easiest for most people, which is why we kind of talk about it so often. But if you can give them something else that's more tangible, yes, it will have a higher perceived value, which is what this is all about. Hey, Q, good to see you. Yes, the mobile car detailing. I remember. Yes, exactly. Good chat. Listen to what Q says there. You guys should chat as well. It's also a great niche, and I like it. Hang on one sec. Thought it was raining. It's just all the leaves falling off the trees. All right. I should know your name instead of one enemy as well. Just like Katrina from The Lady Writes. Finally remembered. All right. I hope it's Katrina. Now I said it. Okay. So when creating landing web pages, offering services to home service businesses, which I'm a fan of, by the way, are you in favor of less text, bullet points, icons, or more text, medium-sized paragraphs? Good question. I feel like every answer is always like, it depends. But this one's going to depend a little bit. That said, for landing pages, for services to home service businesses, less text. Okay. But then a little bit of a follow-up. So I like a bullet point and then like a sentence or two to sort of clarify and add context to it. But like people tend to read, especially landing pages, they scan them pretty quick. So that's like they look at the headline, then they look at the subheadline, they might read the first line, then they're going to scan down the road looking for, again, other subheadlines. They're going to look at bullet points. Like every time I format my bullet points, I don't know if I have an example of this handy. I wonder if I do. No, I don't think I do. Okay. I'll find one for later. When I format my bullet points, I will make sure that like there's words in there that are bold, words that are normal, words that are italicized, words in parentheses, there's ellipsis, there's italics, bold, underlined, all the things. Like I'll use that, not in every single one, because then it would just look like this cluster of stuff. But like bullet point number 1 might be like half bold, then not. Bullet point number 2 might be normal, then ellipses, and then an italicized thing at the end. Bullet point number 3 would be all normal except for 3 words that are underlined in the middle. Like anything to sort of break up that visual pattern. I used to have a book, actually, I think it's still over there, on direct mail marketing. That's right, direct mail. And in there was all kinds of ways of like formatting your copy. And I've learned so much from that I just took over. But the takeaway points, if you don't want to study a book on direct mail marketing, which is probably good, you don't need to do that, is to just sort of like break it up and make sure you're highlighting and emphasizing different points. So there's an expression, and I'm not sure, basically it should be, what is that? It should be as long as a skirt. I'm going to mess this one up. So long enough to cover everything, but short enough to be interesting, something like that. I don't know. That's the quote. We can Google it later. That's kind of how I think of copy in many ways. Also, I think about the market that I'm selling to and the medium that I'm selling on and where the traffic's coming from. So if they're coming from a Google ad, then that text is probably pretty short. What I find is that most of the pages that I'm looking at lack text though. So I don't like long drawn out paragraphs, but most people are just not providing any kind of context whatsoever. So I'll go to their landing page after clicking a Google ad. Their headline's bad. Sorry, but it's just like, I don't know what this is or why I should care, or what's in it for me, or why I'm going to take any action. There's no context on what it is or who it's for or what the benefits are. There's no real call to action other than like, talk to us today, which is like, why would I talk to you today? You haven't sold me anything. There's no real benefit for me to do any of this. So we'll get fired up there. We'll talk about that one another day. All right, Jasmine, get to that fam and pancakes. Yeah, I know. Actually, it's funny. I'm waiting for the text because they're just doing a quick walk right now. So the text hasn't come through yet. So we'll chill for a bit more. That said, if they're not back in like 15 minutes, I'm going to go make them anyway because I'm starving. But I appreciate you. Thanks for looking out for me. I'll forget sometimes and just ramble on. Yeah, you betcha. You betcha. Absolutely. All right. Inez. Hey, Adam. First, thanks for the live. My pleasure. Just wondering how you deal when you are on the stage of starting a business and dealing with different choices as an entrepreneur. Any personal story about this? Yeah, I mean, I think the early stages they're definitely the hardest, but they're also the most exciting. So I'll give you my quick story and then hopefully we can elicit some lessons from it. So the way that I started entrepreneurship is I had like inklings as a kid. Like I used to like looking at briefcases, weird stuff, right? Or those printable calculators, because I was born in the 80s, so this was a thing. And I always liked that, but I never really understood. Like no one in my family were entrepreneurs. No one had a business. It was just not the path you took. I started a couple like mini things that never made any money and had these ideas and nothing ever went anywhere, and then went and got a job. So I just became a pilot right out of high school, flew for the better part of a decade, and then basically snapped, had like a mental breakdown. I was like, I got to get out of here. I can't do this anymore. And I was totally done. And so I quit flying and went home and had nothing, like no transferable skills. The only thing I was good at was flying planes, and I didn't want to fly planes. So I was like, I don't know what to do. My wife, who fortunately knew me well enough, was like, you should do marketing. And I didn't even know what marketing was. So I was like, what's marketing? So then I bought some books on marketing, and I started studying psychology and psychology of marketing, and why people buy what we buy and why we do what we do. And I was hooked. I was like, this is the most crazy stuff in the world. But during that period, I also was like, maybe I'll go to law school. Maybe I'll get an MBA. I was just like anything that was going to work. I got a job selling running shoes. There's a step backwards. I went from making 6 figures a year flying business jets all over the world to making minimum wage selling running shoes, which, you believe me, there's some judgment there when people like walk in the store and they're like, what happened, man? What happened? But you deal with it because you're like, I'm not going back there. So anything than that is going to be better. And then from there, I just slowly started putting the pieces together. I was like, okay, well, if I'm not going to go back flying, and I think you've got to make this decision of like, are you interested or are you committed? And if you're interested, you do what's convenient. And if you're committed, you do whatever it takes. And for me, I was committed. I was like, there's just no way in hell I'm going back to flying or to getting another job outside of selling running shoes, which was kind of like a part-time thing as I was figuring this stuff out. But I was like, I'm never going to be in a position where someone tells me what to do, where to go, when I can take time off, apply for a vacation. Like the whole thing was just infuriating to me. So I was like, I was all in on something. Didn't know what that was yet, but something. So I started reading books, started taking random action, started talking to as many people as I could. And it just literally built from there. I was like, okay, well, marketing, I don't know, websites. So I started building websites, and then I built a ton for free because I had no portfolio, and I had massive imposter syndrome of like, who am I to be doing this? So I did everything for free, built up a portfolio because websites really aren't that hard to build, drag and drop, move some things around. Then I started learning SEO so they would rank them and start getting traffic. And then from there, it snowballed relatively quickly. I still did a lot of stuff wrong, which is why it took me longer than it probably should have. I waited too long before investing in myself and buying courses and mentors. I tried to get everything for free, which left me with a lot of information that I then had to spend a lot of time connecting the dots. So the early years were like, it's going to sound crazy and it's not something I'd recommend, but I'm not going to lie. The early years were, I worked 7 days a week, like 14 to 16 hours a day for years, which isn't healthy or good. But I did it, and I don't regret it because it all paid off. But there's a smarter way. So now it's like for new entrepreneurs and new business owners, I try to cap them at like 8 to 10 hours a day, kind of max. And we try to find other ways of doing more productive money-making activities instead of less fluffy stuff. Like I wasted a lot of time. I learned Photoshop because I thought I'd need graphic design. I learned this and I learned that. Like none of that mattered, or I use it today a little bit, but mostly for fun. So yes, what would I do if I was starting over? That's the question that I think I should answer. If I was starting over, and again, I'm biased, but it's hard for me to suggest anything else. I'd go really deep into marketing, and I would actually. Oh, hang on, I've got a link. I would do this, because it's free to sign up for. Can I find it now? Hang on. What is it called? It's like this thing here. I'm going to have to put it in the chat because I have no idea how to put it on the screen, and it's a big ugly link. There's this. I wish this existed when I was first starting out. That's the link to look for, or you can just type it out if you dare. Make sure to include that thing at the end though, because you get bonuses, which is the affiliate referral code there. I really wish they had something like this. So high level, I only started using it in 2019, which was 5, 6, 7 years after I started my agency. So before that, like I built websites with HTML and CSS and PHP, like hard coding. Now it's super simple. We just drag and drop. Before then, we couldn't do real SMS marketing. For email marketing, we had to use like Aweber, which was not amazing. Like we just didn't have these tools. I remember ClickFunnels coming out, and it was like the greatest thing that we ever saw. And now it's okay still, but like we use high level for everything. So I don't know, there's so many cool tools and resources available today. I would dive in there first, and then, let me get you one more link that I would do, because I like that one probably the most as a good place to start. But then I think I've got it in my Notion here somewhere. I should be more prepared for these things. You never know where they're going to go, though. 5-day review challenge. Here it is. Here's the other one. I would do that also. These are both free, by the way. You can get access when you sign up for a free trial, which, by the way, if you don't like, you can just cancel within 30 days, and then you don't have to pay anything, which is a good deal where I come from. So there's the SaaSpreneur one, and there's the 5-day reviews challenge. I would do the SaaSpreneur one, sign up for that one first, because it's going live with Frank Kern on October 14th, I think. And I've done it before, and I've seen inside of it, and I'm going to be there for that one as well. And it's like the stuff they give you it's insane. They give you the website and email templates and social media copy and everything, all in a box. And you've got 30-day free trial, I think. If you don't, make sure to let me know, and I'll make sure you get the 30-day free trial. Actually, I'm going to put this here too, just in case if anybody tries to give you something that's like the 14-day trial, don't take it. Do the 31. Hang on one sec. Now I got to find a way to put that up on the screen. All these links. Do the SaaSpreneur one first, then do the 5 days review challenge, because again, the 5-day review challenge is going to give you another website template for free, and it's super cool. Really, really good. In fact, we're building it out right now for something called an AI employee, which I'm also really excited about. We'll talk about the AI employee later, though. I feel like that would take us down a tangent that I don't feel like going down right now, unless anybody wants to know. All right, back to questions. So yes, Ines, that's my answer, my friend, is there's so many free resources. Also, this one's probably this one's I'm clearly biased on, but I would go through my channel and watch as many of the videos as I could handle. As much Adam as you can stomach in a few settings, because I love this stuff, and I've done everything I can to make it palatable and valuable to the point that I think it beats most of the courses out there that you got to pay for. So, Q, good to see you. Yes. Steven. Okay, right on. I will try to remember. Steven. We'll go for it. Okay, altering the text strength inside bullet points is great. Thank you. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's who's got good bullet points? Oh, everyone. Just if you just type in, even in Google, copywriter bullet points, how to format bullet points for copywriters. There's a couple good books that were written on it. I think I've got them just in the e-version though, because there's only so much you can look at bullet points. All right. We're doing good. Let's keep going. Still no text. Hang on. We're so good. All right, Tyler, when you say offer something tangible, do you mean something custom for their biz, or would one of my ebook lead magnets be good? No, an ebook won't be. And that's no knock against you. It's just ebooks are probably the worst lead magnet ever, because no one wants an ebook. What they want is a result or something that they can use. So a tangible thing would be something like a backlink. Here's 5 leads. Here's an actual Facebook ad that has worked really well for other people. Here's a website template. Here's a snapshot of my entire workflow. Those are things that are valuable. They don't really want more information or training. They want something that is of value, and ideally something that other people would not be willing to give. In the early days of starting any new business or launching any new offer, I way err on the side of over-delivering, like stupidly. I saw Hormozi give a speech like this once, actually. He stood up on stage and he was like, hey, the book's $1,000. Who wants it? And then he's like, but it comes with a free course, but it comes with this, but it comes with that, but it comes with, and he just sort of just kept adding things until everybody said, yes, I want it. And I think the final one was it comes with all of these things and 10 hours of my time, and I'll fly you there, and I'll guarantee this. And so that's what I try to do, is obviously I try not to give away 10 hours of my time for free, but how far down can I go before it starts to hurt just a little bit? And then I do that. And then as soon as everyone's like, yeah, I want that, then I start stripping it away. So the next person doesn't get all that. They get a little bit less and a little bit less, until I find that sweet spot of what do I have to give to get someone's attention and trust. Tyler, what do your parents do for a living? Yeah, good question. They're retired now, but my mom was a stay-at-home mom, and my dad was a pilot. He was a fighter pilot, then an airline pilot, then a business jet pilot, which, fun story. When I flew business jets, we both knew the guys that owned the company. So I started first, and then Dad came over and joined me, and he was actually my co-pilot on a couple flights because I was the only one rated on the plane. So I got to be the captain, which was fun. He was a good co-pilot though. You did good, Dad. You did good. Do I know esports? I do, not incredibly well, but enough to be dangerous. What do you want to know? Like esports marketing, how to do it, how to get teams, how to do sponsorships? Questions. Jeff, it's back. It's back, man. I'm glad to see you. It's good to see familiar faces. It's been a while, buddy. It's been a while. But yes, I'm back. When will I be back again? I don't know. We're going to see. But I missed it, man. I missed it. So good to be here. All right. These are just my links, so I don't think I need to show those. But if you find all those there, Jasmine, why is he offering 14 days of high level instead of the normal 30 from most affiliates? Are you talking about Frank? Possibly on that page? I think it's just because they don't, I don't know, actually. This is a really good question. Why is it 14? I mean, I think the standard is 14 and in some cases it will convert higher going from because it converts a little bit quicker. And if you can have a really good onboarding sequence with it, but yeah, I'd sign up for the 31. So yes, answer that one. Knowledge, a little bit. I'm an old man. Esports. Actually, I like StarCraft. You want to talk about video games? I used to play Call of Duty a little bit more, and then everybody got better than me. Everybody. So now it's not as much fun. I still like StarCraft. StarCraft 2. Everyone's still better than me, but for some reason, I find it less stressful because you don't get shot in the face like you do in Call of Duty. You got your little alien guys and you're moving them around and doing all this stuff. StarCraft 2 for the win. Okay, Magic. Oh, good. Good, Jasmine. All right. Skylab. My side hustle is photo, video, media, but after so many customer requests, I decided to get my certification in digital marketing and love it. Is marketing realistically profitable as a side hustle? Yep. Very, very, very much so. Very much so. I don't even know how to say much more than that. I mean, yeah. Definitely 100%. Yeah. And you can scale it up from there. I mean, I would start it as a side hustle. And then very quickly, I think you'll realize that it can become the main thing that you do. And there is a lot of money to be made. I'd say, again, I'm always cautious with income claims because the FTC is very real and they don't like income claims. So I can tell you that I make millions from digital marketing. I can't say that you'll make millions, but I can say, I don't know, pretend all of this is nonsense. Don't listen to anything I'm about to say. We're clear now. I find it very hard to believe that someone that took it seriously wouldn't be able to make 10K a month. Ideally 20 or 30, but very hard to not make 10 if you stick with it for a bit and learn digital marketing, simply because there's just so much money and potential here. There's so many businesses that need help. There's so many people out there that need digital marketing services, millions. And there's still, for some reason, a lack of people that actually care and love it enough, which is great. Because I love it and you guys obviously like it enough to be here. So yeah. Oh man, I'd push hard, and I'd push hard now. This is an opportunity that I think is ripe for the taking. In fact, it's funny. As long as I've been in this game, well over a decade now, every year it still gets a little bit better, which is cool. Because I remember when I first started, I was like, oh man, everyone's going to have a good website in the next 5 years, and then I'm going to need to do something else. And still, the amount of businesses that I see that either don't have a website or the website they have is dog food, it's a lot. So yeah, what would I do if I were you? I would do this, probably. The 5-day reviews challenge. Actually, I'd do both again. They're both free. So just sign up for both and do them. It's going to be a bit of drinking water through a fire hose, but man, there's a lot of good info in there. Okay. Oh, Jasmine, the helicopter's back. We might not hear it again though. Inez, thanks for a lot for sharing and answering my question. Oh, my pleasure. Follow and love your content from Turkey. Amazing. Even though it is not morning, but still coffee time at 10:48 p.m. Oh, that's a late coffee. Okay, so another story. I love Turkish coffee. Like probably my absolute favorite kind of coffee ever. So for those not familiar with Turkish coffee, and correct me if I'm wrong here, Inez, is you have something called an ibrik, which is this little tiny espresso cup basically made of copper, steel or something on the end of a stick, and you heat it up. You put all the grinds in, this thing, and then you put in the water and sometimes a bit of sugar, depending how sweet you want it. And then you heat it up, and then you like take it off, then you heat it up and you take it off, and you end up pouring out this like black syrup that tastes like heaven. And it's got to be just like 1 million grams of caffeine, but all good. Tyler, sweet. I can do 20 free leads. Thank you. Yeah. Awesome, buddy. Yeah, I would do that. Hey, you want 20 free leads to reach out to? Just make sure they're good. I had, the reason that I like the free leads is I tried to think of like the offers that I respond to, and someone responded with, hey, get some free leads. And so I said, yeah, okay, let's have some free leads. And they sent me like just terrible leads. I was like, oh, I'm not going to be doing this. All right, Dan, what made you move from web development to marketing? I will tell you, I made websites, I gave them to clients, and then nobody could find them. And I was like, I just put all of this time and energy into making this person a website, and no one knows that it exists, and it's doing nothing for them. So I was like, well, how do you get websites to show up? I was like, oh, that is called SEO. Interesting. Let's learn SEO. And that was it. And then once I started getting traffic to the websites through SEO, I was like, hey, wait a second. Every time I get more people to this website, the client makes more money and they pay me more money. Is there other ways to get more traffic? I was like, I wonder if social media would work. And then I learned social media. And then I was like, okay, well, social media is cool, but I want more, and I can't make more people visit because they have control. So that's when I learned social media ads. And then it like spiraled from there. Basically, it just came from this obsession of like, how can I it came from the first this is a better way to say it. The first obsession came from like, how can I get my clients as much traffic as possible? And then it turned into, how can I make my clients as much money as possible? And then the spinoff of that was like, hey, the more money that I make them, the more money that I make. So by acting in their best interest and doing everything I can, I make a lot more money. And then I switched my whole focus. Jay Abraham calls it a fiduciary responsibility, which I guess he doesn't call it a fiduciary responsibility. A fiduciary responsibility is a legal term, meaning that you have the legal obligation to act in your client's best interests. I've adopted that approach from the very first minute that I started marketing. I basically was like, I'm never going to sell anything that I wouldn't sell to my mom. I'm never going to do anything that I wouldn't be willing to do for myself. All of these things applied. And I think that was probably one of the single biggest mindset things that enabled me to be successful, is that like, and I don't think you can fake it, right? Like, when you talk to someone and you can tell they're just trying to snake oil you something and be like, you should do this, even though it's terrible. Like, we're all good at reading people, even, yeah, all of them. Okay. Copywriting with Facebook marketing. Ooh, I don't know if that's a question or just a statement, but we can take some follow-up. No, you heard right. That is absolutely was the right one. All right. Hey, Byron. Good to see you. It's been a long time as well. I know I missed the live too. I'm super stoked to be here. I do have plans. I should say I'm not sure exactly when the next one's going to be, but I've got I got a lot of stuff that I've been working on that I'm super excited to share. A lot of free stuff too. Basically just, all kinds of things around, a ton of stuff around AI, which I've been really, I don't want to say slow to get into because I've been working like a crazy person behind the scenes, but I've been slow to talk about it because I didn't want to get lumped in with all of the what's the nice way of saying this? Like all the cool kids being like, AI, everyone do AI. AI is the future. I kind of believed that, but I didn't want to jump on that bandwagon until I saw, how is this going to make anybody any money? And now that I see how it's going to make people money, I'm excited. So yeah, more on that coming. Oh, actually, hey, if you want to test this out, anybody, I'm not sure if this funnel is going to work. I don't even know if I have it up here. That's how prepared I am today. Hang on, where is it? I've opened up all these other tabs. I think I put it here. I built you a free marketing system. That's it. Again, if you've already got high level, you should have access to this. Now I can't find my screen again. If you don't have it yet, you can try this out and it should get, as I shrink it completely, you'll find it in the chat as well, because I don't expect anybody to type that all out. I think it's agencyaccelerator.io/marketing-system. But yeah, you can check that one out as well. What I'm trying to do is for all of my affiliates, I'm trying to consolidate all of the resources I have in one central place so that you've got access to like all of my snapshots, all of my templates, all of my workflows, all of my AI. I've been training. I trained this super cool AI thing. It's called an AI employee. They're calling it an AI agent, but I'm going to try to get them to change the name because it has a different meaning. This AI employee I don't know if I can show you. I think I deleted it. I'll have to remake it. It's amazing. Basically, someone calls a business. It goes to this automatic AI voice that sounds like a human. I programmed it to like get the name and phone and email. I programmed it to respond if someone's like, is this just a bot? And so it responds right. I programmed it if like, let me talk to a human, how to do that. Like it's bananas. That's actually got me pretty excited. Okay. Earl. Okay, right on. Thank you, Earl. So we've got Steven, one enemy. We got Earl, Skylab. Right on. I'll try to remember. Okay, let me see. Where am I? Sonorous. How would you promote health-related products via meta ads? The same way I'd promote any kind of thing via a meta ad, honestly. I think the only catch is, because this is a longer question that we won't have time to dive into, the only caution that I would give you is make sure about any claims, don't do anything before and after, and make sure about calling anybody out. So I don't know if it's like, let's say it's a hearing device. Don't write something like, are you hard of hearing? Are you deaf? Do you have hearing problems? Don't do that. Like you'll just get your ad account shut down. You've got to find ways of like phrasing around it, being like, we help you hear better, or we help people hear better. I avoid the word you as well in as much of those as possible. But yeah, you can sell most things. Skylab, Earl, love your pause and expression. And yep, that said it. Thank you. That motivated. Okay. Yeah. Digital marketing. I don't know. Unbelievable. Life-changing. Insane. Yeah, I still don't believe it. I do this a lot actually, where I'll like walk back into the house and I'll be like, I can't believe this is real. It's so weird. Because I grew up pretty normal, and I remember. Tell my story first. I remember like when I went to school, sleeping on an air mattress in like a sketchy apartment in a sketchy part of town, and the air mattress leaked. So in the middle of the night, I would like wake up on the floor and inflate my air mattress by mouth and then like try to go back to sleep. I was like, that was my life for a long period of time. So, and then I discovered marketing and everything changed. Yay. It kind of is like that. It's a weird story, but all right. Oh man. Okay. We're after 11. I desperately have to eat. I'm going to see if I can burn through a couple more. Then we're going to bail. There will be a replay. If you have follow-up questions, I'm going to try to do this again sooner than later. And yes, we'll carry on. Okay. So for this list of customers in your other biz, I may not have emailed some of them in a long time. Should I still use my regular sending email for regular subscribers? It depends on what you mean by not have emailed them in a long time. If it's 1, 2, or 3 months, be careful, because you're going to get a lot of spam and like unsubscribe stuff. If it's longer than 6 months, I would probably send them one email apologizing and then asking them to resubscribe if they want to. You could do it with a trigger link by getting them to click a link, or just having them like completely opt in again. Because the list is, I don't want to say dead at that point, but like it's been enough time where they'll get an email and be like, who dat? NGA safety nets, please do WordPress tutorial. Yeah, maybe. I'm probably not the best one for that though, because like my team and stuff do WordPress. Plus I'm building a lot more sites right now on high level. I still like WordPress. We use it for our site, but Caladian, how do I get clients to sign with no current clientele? Sorry if this was already answered. Houston, Texas. Hey, Houston. I'm going to be in Dallas in a while, actually. How do you get them without? You try to get, there's a number of different ways. First of all the same concepts apply. It's just we don't have any testimonials or case studies or reviews. My best advice is we try to get like 2 to 3 free clients in order to get a testimonial, a review, and a case study that we can then leverage for other clients. This doesn't mean that you need to sign free clients on and do everything for them for like 6 years. It could just mean a 1-hour phone call. It could mean setting up a simple campaign for them. It could mean doing SEO for a month to show them how it involves. Like, you don't have to sell your soul, but yeah, we kind of want some kind of case study and testimonial and review. That's what I did by building people free websites in the early days. And it very much was a launch pad, because I remember looking at my competitors and they all had like on their websites, like portfolios of all the websites they built. And I had none. So I was like, I need some websites. So I built them for everyone that would let me. And even people that didn't let me, I still built them a website. Yes. Okay. Yes. Turkish coffee. We call the specific pot a sezve. Oh, similar to mocha pot in Italian. Oh, that's cool. Sezve. So it's not an e-brick. So what's an e-brick? Hopefully that's not a bad word. I've been saying it for long. Everyone just smiles and nods at me. Sezve. Chezve? Sezve? My Turkish isn't very good. I've got cousins that live in Turkey, so it's great place. Okay. Dan, oh, yes, you can rewatch this again. The live will be available with a replay, I hope. I really do hope. Sometimes it doesn't work, but normally it does. All right, let me see if I can find one more and we'll wrap it. Oh, we got two more and then we'll wrap it. Want to ask what type of creatives I can use for Facebook ad image, like offer or other stuff for my accounting business. Ooh, accounting images. That's going to be tough because you don't want to use something generic and boring like a calculator, or it'll just get overlooked. Go to unsplash.com. They have free photos that you can use, royalty-free photos. So unsplash.com, and start there and take a look what they've got. And Bilal, Adam, how do I market self-hypnosis downloads? Paid ads best? Ooh, probably not. And the reason is, what's the price of the self-hypnosis download? Because if it's less than like $50, you're going to have a hard time recuperating your costs. Like, I don't know, say you're spending $1 a click and your page is converting at 1%. That means you're going to spend $100 to make 50, which is a bad deal. So I don't know if that's the best plan. I might go the content route to begin with. So I'd be doing all kinds of things like short form content, long form content, giving away samples, trying to build a brand around that niche. Content's going to be your best friend on that one. And then yes, you can look at ads, but your funnel better be dialed in, right? Like, yeah, we better be dialed in, and there better be upsells and cross sells and downsells, because otherwise it'll be tough to make money. Okay. It's pancake time. All right, everybody. That was amazing. I had so much fun. Thank you so much for being here, for all the great questions. So good to see so many familiar faces and so many new faces as well. We're going to try to do this again sooner than later. Maybe not next week, maybe the week after, maybe sometime in the midday, weekday, something like that. A time that works for everybody. But regardless, I'm off to eat some pancakes. Have an amazing rest of your weekend. We'll talk to you soon. See you, everybody.